Lesson 44 is about addition of rational expressions with equal or unequal denominators. Now, a rational expression, if we look at what a rational expression is, it's just going to be an expression that has a ratio. And that word ratio is right in rational. So a ratio is just a fraction, a numerator and a denominator. Now in this problem, we've got to add. And if we remember adding fractions, let's say we took some problem like 1/4 plus 3/4 just as an example to review how to add or subtract fractions, we know that we've got to add the numerators together, 4, and the denominator stay the same, 4. So our answer for this problem would be 1, or 4/4. For this problem, the denominator needs to be the same in order for us to add, and in this we're adding a negative number. So 2x squared plus y, 2x squared plus y. Fantastic. Our denominators are the same. So that's going to be our final answer, 2x squared plus y. Just like the 4 was our common denominator that stayed the same when we added our example problem. Now all we have to do is figure out what our numerator will be. And we have 4 minus 6ax. Well, those aren't like terms because they don't have the same variables. So our numerator is going to be 4 minus 6ax. And we've taken these two terms and put them together into 1. We're all done. We can move on to our next example. Let's look at this one. We've got 5x plus 7 over 5a squared x minus 3x minus 2 over 5a squared x. Now if you're thinking it's strange that they say add when there's a subtraction sign, what we need to remember is that we can add negative numbers. If we add negative numbers, it's the same thing as adding. So, we've got our denominators. They're exactly the same. So, that's going to be the denominator of our answer, 5a squared x. Then our numerator, we've got 5x plus 7 minus 3x minus 2. Now this is tricky. And the reason that this is tricky is because we want to think about adding negative numbers. So our numerator, if we rewrote it, would look like 5x plus 7 plus, and then this is all negative. So if this is all negative, it means we need to switch the signs. So we're going to have a negative 3x plus a 2. Now this is a very important step that we do this, so we make sure we get the right answer for both of our values as we go. We've got 5x plus negative 3x. That's 2x. So we're going to get 2x. And then we've got 7 plus 2. 7 plus 2, that's 9. So we get 2x plus 9 over 5a squared x. Now we could have got the same answer without doing this step in blue, because 5x minus 3x is 2x. And 7 minus negative 2, 7 minus negative 2, that must be 7 plus 2, that's 9. We've got our final answer that way. Let's move on to our next problem. Alright, here we have 3/4 plus 2b, or 2 over b. If we look at this, these have different denominators. So we've got to find the least common multiple of 4 and b. Well, the least common multiple of 4 and b must be 4b. So we're going to rewrite. We're going to rewrite as 3 over 4 plus 2 over b, just so we have a little more room. And what we need to do is we need to multiply the 4 times a b in order to get 4b. What we do to the denominator, we have to do to the numerator. So we're going to multiply it times a b. We're rewriting equivalent equations here, or rewriting equivalent terms. So we need to multiply now our b times 4. So we have the same denominator. Then we're going to have to multiply our numerator times 4. I'm going to put it in parentheses so we know it's multiplication. Now we can get our answer. We can see we have 4b as our denominator. And then we have 3b plus 8. Because 2 times 4 is 8. And we've got our final answer. So our answer here is 3b plus 8 over 4b. And we can move on to the next problem. Okay, here we have 5 over x plus x over b plus a over c. Now, what's the least common multiple of x B, and C? Well, the least common multiple, the LCM, of X, B, and C, that must be equal to X, B, C. So that needs to be our new denominator. Let's rewrite. We're going to get 5 over X, and we're going to leave some room, plus X over B, plus A over C. Now the least common multiple must be X, B, C. So we're going to multiply the X times B and the C. What we do to the denominator, we need to do to the numerator. So we're going to multiply that by a B and a C. The B, we need to multiply that by an X and a C. So we're going to do that to the numerator as well. We get X, X, C. And the C, well, we've got to multiply that by an X and a B. So we've got to multiply the numerator by an X and a B. Now we can get our final answer. Our final answer in this problem, we'll box this off so we know that that was a separate step. Our final answer will have the denominator of X, B, C. And the numerator, well, we've got 5BC plus, well, XXC. That's the same as X squared C. We're going to rewrite down below. We'll rewrite in a different color. Let's rewrite in orange. We've got 5BC plus X squared C plus XBA. Now you need to look at these carefully and think, are there any like terms? And here the answer is no, because none of them have exactly the same variables. So that's our answer. We can rewrite that in red. We're going to get all this, 5BC plus X squared C plus XBA, all over a denominator of XBC. We can box that and move on to our next problem. This one's all done. We've simplified it as much as we can. We've got one more. We're going to add a over c squared plus 3 over 4c squared plus m over 3c to the fourth. So our least common denominator is going to have to be, well, we've got a 4, a 3, and a 1. The least common multiple of that must be 12. So if we rewrite, we're going to get c squared with an a as the numerator. I'm going to leave a lot of room, plus 3 over 4c squared plus m over 3c to the fourth. Now to find our least common multiple of that 1, 4, and 3, well, we know the least common multiple of 1, 4, and 3 must be 12. So we're going to have to multiply everything times something to get it to 12. So we've got times 12 and times 12. Let's extend this fraction bar. We've got times 3 and times 3. We've got times 4 and times 4. Now we've got 12c squared, 12c squared, 12c to the fourth. Well, we need to have c to the fourth everywhere. So we're going to multiply by c squared, and we're going to multiply by c squared. Now we need to simplify. We know our denominator. The denominator answer must be 12 c to the fourth. That's because that's our least common denominator for the problem. Then let's simplify above. Well, 12 ac squared. That stays the same. That's good. Then we have 9c squared. We'll box that, or circle that. Then we have 4m. We're adding these three terms together. So we need to think about if there's any like terms. And there's not, because none of them have exactly the same variables. So we can go ahead and report our answer now as 12 ac squared plus 9c squared plus 4m. Box it, and we've completed this problem. Lesson practice will be on page 179. Make sure you've got your notes complete, and I'll see you during our next class.